When I never feel bad, come on, yeah.
Good morning. It has been a while since I've last done a video in English, so I am going to do this little morning wake-up call. I'm still not sure how to call it in English, because in French, my morning show is affectionately called le réveil pédagogique. And it kind of flows, but in English, the pedagogical wake-up call it doesn't flow. It doesn't roll off the tongue as smoothly as I hoped. So I don't know, the teacher's cup of joe. I don't know. I need to find something crafty, something creative. So for this morning show, I wanted to talk to you about. Now, I have to give a disclaimer. It's I don't claim to be a mental health specialist. I am not. Have I experienced mental health problems? Yes. Have I gone to see a therapist to deal with my mental health problems? Yes. So I have personal experience, but that does not make me an expert. So if you are dealing with mental health issues, please go and see a health professional. But in the meantime, sometimes hearing some friendly advice from a fellow educator sometimes can be of help. So my first piece of advice: if you're dealing with stress, if you're dealing with anxiety, if you're dealing with depression, if you're dealing with any type of mental health issue, please see a professional. But in the meantime, sometimes when we are dealing with, I don't want to say a mental breakdown, because having had breakdowns, nothing looks positive. So I can only speak from my perspective, because every person is unique. Every person deals with their own realities and their own context. And yes, we can talk about mindfulness. We can talk about being grateful and having a journal. But I'm very much solution-based, and I focus on trying to make sense of my reality when there are things I cannot control. So I came up with 8 things that are good to do, or that make you feel good, without giving too many details, because I would like to respect those people's privacy. I know a person who is very close and dear to me, and is often deals with episodes of worthlessness and angst and anxiety. And I'm saying to myself, there are proven ways that have been talked about by either health providers, therapists, psychologists, that it's been documented, that make you feel better. Once again, it doesn't eliminate the problems. Trust me. If somebody had told me this when I was dealing with my mental health issues, I would say, you know what, that's nice, but it doesn't solve the problem. I know it doesn't. But and it's easy for me to say that now that I'm not dealing with it, when you know that you cannot control certain things, it's important to make sense in your immediate, and that sense of control, and I can hear my husband smirking, chuckling, because it's always about control. It is, because that feeling of control, when you can control your immediate surroundings, you already start feeling better, all right? So the first thing that makes you feel good, the first thing is clean up, tidy up. Now, I'm not saying become Marie Kondo. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, you know, make sense, organize your life. And it can mean, you know, cleaning up your home office, cleaning out your bedroom and making sense. And a lot of therapists that I've read about often say that with mental illness, with mental health issues, there's often I don't want to say chaos that surrounds people, but there's some organization that needs to get done, and cleaning up and cleaning out maybe might help you make some sense and organize. But the way that we look at it is even accomplishing the smallest task, like making your bed, can be very satisfying. And that satisfaction brings on positive vibes, those positive hormones. Once again, I'm not a mental health specialist. I don't know that specific terminology, but that sense of accomplishment, you get it by knowing, like, okay, I did something right, I did something good. And for me, back in the day, it was literally rearranging my entire walk-in closet. And that was a monumental task, but I got it done. I got it done in a day. And I felt so good. I felt so good. The other thing, and this, it's easy to forget. It's easy to forget. But basically, you need to eat properly and drink water. You can't fuel yourself on caffeine alone, says the coffee lover. But you have to eat healthily, because you know, if you have a lack of vitamins, if you have a lack of protein, if you have a lack of substance in your body, it can affect your mood. It can affect your disposition. Can affect your brain. You know, there's a reason why people say, I get hangry. Well, yeah, because your hunger affects everything. So yeah, so eating and drinking properly, healthily is a good thing. I'm looking at my screen because that's where I have my list. It's an image, and I might include it maybe at the end. Maybe I'll do some very basic editing in this video, and I'll include my list of stuff. Exercise. This is not coming from me. This is coming from every single healthcare provider out there. If you go and see a healthcare provider and you say, I am not feeling well mentally, psychologically, I am not doing well, one of the first things they will say, are you exercising? And it gets the blood flowing, but also it changes your mood, it changes everything. It has a huge impact on your mindset, your mood, your general outlook on everything. It's necessary. It's necessary. Also, lights. We're not vampires. You have to stop lurking. Staying in a bedroom or staying in a room without windows, with no lights, it's not good on the mood. It's not good on the mood. I'm just, and sometimes it's very hard because in some cases it's beyond our control. I have a staff room, for instance, with no windows, so I try as much as possible to go into the hallway or find the nearest window and just like stare blankly outside. It looks weird to just like, but yeah, sometimes it's necessary. Or I linger in the stairwell, because the stairwell has like huge windows. Huge windows. I'm gonna make this quick because I already hear students coming into the hallway. God, yeah, that's not what I wanted to do. Also, put away the phone. Put away the phone. Put away social media. Like I say phone, but it can also be the computer, because it's very easy to like, I'm not saying that the phone is the big evil, the big bad. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's what's in the phone that is causing problems and causing issues because it's very easy for us to compare ourselves and to look at what's happening elsewhere and say we're not enough, we're not doing enough, I'm not, why am I like this? And get tempted. Once again, it's FOMO, and people snicker when I say FOMO, but it is a thing. Social comparison can cause so many evil things, and when you are dealing with this sense of worthlessness, this sense of hopelessness, to look at other pictures and other people and see how happy they are. And we tend to forget that these pictures are framed. We don't know what's happening behind, I don't want to say a fake smile, but behind those smiles. So it's very easy to get trapped in some kind of a downward spiral, and it doesn't help. It doesn't help our mood. Plus, like, how many specialists say that we need to disconnect from technology at least 30 minutes before going to bed? Just putting it out there. And you need to do something nice. Every now and again, I randomly send a hello to some of my friends, even if I haven't spoken to them in months. And I say, hey, have a great day. It's simple. It's silly. To some people, it might seem very insignificant. But just showing that act of kindness, being nice to others, makes you feel better. So it could be a compliment, it could be even giving a hand, it could be cleaning, for someone else. But those warm fuzzies creates that positive vibe that we need to feel better, right? There's also creating. And creating, I don't mean like invent something new. You could be drawing, you could be writing, you could be cooking, you could be painting. You need, like, once again, it goes back to that cleaning, the first thing, tidy up, organize your life. Accomplishing something and knowing that you've done something that, hey, look, I made a thing. It creates that sense of happiness, that sense of worth that sometimes we need. And last but not least, and this is typically me, because I used to have students who would come to my classroom, and this was before COVID, and they would walk in and they would say, Miss, can I get a hug? Sometimes that hug changes the day, changes your day, changes your mood, changes everything. That human contact, like, I'm not saying go and hug a student, like, I'm not saying that. Plus COVID, find someone in your life, and I'm not saying go up to a stranger and ask them for a hug, no. But that human contact is necessary. That human touch is necessary, and that's been proven. That's been proven. There are studies that show that when toddlers get less than X amount of hugs a day or human contact, it affects their development. It's important even for grown-ups. It's important even for grown-ups. And that touch, that pat, that contact is important. And sometimes it's not maybe you receiving the pat, the hug, or whatever, but it could be you, and it creates that double vibe. You're giving that positivity and you're receiving it. So to sum up, because I'm almost at 15 minutes, to sum up, the idea is not that, like, these things are going to eliminate whatever ill is plaguing you. And in some cases, the issues that we are collectively dealing with cannot be resolved with this. And I'm very well aware of that. When I dealt with my 6-week break, I knew that when I was going to go back, the issues would still be there. And it was very hard to deal with because I kept on saying to myself, I can do everything, the mindfulness, the grateful, the journal of being grateful and all of that stuff. But I do that in my mind, but it doesn't fix the problem. And that's when, that's where I say, I'm not saying this to diminish those issues. I'm proposing these solutions to at least make your immediate environment, your reality, as positive and as tolerable as possible. And it's not meant to diminish or to pretend like those issues don't exist. And that's very important. And once again, if you are dealing with mental health issues, please go and see a professional. There are phone lines that are available to help people in need, and I might just put one. I might just do a basic edit in this video and add a couple of phone numbers for you to use. So on that lovely note, ladies and gents and people who identify differently, have yourselves a lovely day.